Welcome to the Real CP Show. I'm your host, CP. In today's topic, sanctuary cities, overall listings, the insultingness toward Black Americans collectively. Since do you think many other cultures and countries and backgrounds and etc. would do the same for Black Americans? You know the answer. And this system, with its brilliancy, and this is why I like to say consistently, supremacists or supremacy is the most awesome mental manipulation force that has ever existed. It exists under chaos. It existed under denial. It existence of deflectionary tactics. It exists. In this situation right here, well, I'm going to show you this estimated amount of lists under sanctuary cities, towns, etc. It is an insultingness that you got numbers of people, border breaker, illegal immigrants. You got however numbers of immigrationists, numbers of visa overstayers left and right, not talking about some small amount. You got these various types of personnel, etc. And they knowing that the stuff they are able to get away with, Black Americans couldn't do that in another country. And they know it. And then again, this is why I say extremely insultingness toward Black Americans collectively. And I'm not talking about some of the naive ones, some gullible ones, right, that don't understand. It's individual to a point, but collectively, it is the destruction that's happening. And the system is utilizing these border breaker illegal immigrants, immigrationists, etc., to finish up basically, again, Black Americans. Yes. And again, it is an insult, and they are basically slapping the faces of millions of Black Americans. Yes. That's what they're doing. Because they saying the American Black Negroes collectively don't know our games, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen with this particular estimated amount of sanctuary cities that are protecting border breakers and pseudo immigrationist personnel, overstayers, etc. Right here. Make sure you can see this. Today is November the 3rd, 2025. And I do these things as a timepiece purpose. And like right now, you hear the stuff about, oh my goodness, Trump is look what the ICE people are doing. The previous 4 years, where's all that outrage with record-breaking border immigration type personnel, record still breaking allowability of immigrationist type personnel, getting freebies left and right, opening up businesses, getting those resources to open up businesses? How many numbers of immigration personnel? How many numbers of border breaker legal immigrant personnel, etc., that are still getting higher sectionality of getting free colleges, education, or shouldn't be getting any kind of money anyway, regardless, regardless. Black Americans can't go to different countries and go get resources for colleges, resources for businesses. Do you understand the slap in the face that's being shown to Black Americans by the millions that don't know these games? So the thing about it is, as you see right here on this list, or should I say, let me just read this. Let me make sure my mute is off. All right. Hello. Make sure you can see that. All right. Hold on. Let me make sure you can see that. All right. Hello, hello. I also want to test my meet. Okay, here we go. I have to make sure my audio is okay. U.S. sanctuary jurisdiction list following Executive Order 14287, protecting American communities. No. Let's add some. Protecting centuries of American communities, especially who are supposed to be protecting Black Americans from criminal aliens. The U.S. Department of Justice has designated the below initial list as sanctuary jurisdictions based on actions and policies that materially impede enforcement of federal immigration statutes and regulations. These designations were made after a thorough review of documented laws, ordinances, and executive directives by the listed jurisdictions. On that, sanctuary jurisdiction characteristics include, I'm just going to read us a few of them. Public declarations, cities, states, or counties that publicly declare themselves a sanctuary jurisdiction or equivalent with the intent to undermine federal immigration enforcement. What a slap in the freaking face, especially toward millions of Black Americans. When you got numbers of cities and counties and towns and et cetera and states that are normally just telling people, look, they have the intent to undermine federal immigration laws, right? Now, try that shit in another country, like Black Americans, if they try that stuff in another country. Let Black Americans try that in another country and see if that country is going to sit there and undermine federal immigration enforcement for Black Americans. Man, I mean, these games are so ridiculous to not be seen through. Funding restrictions. Cities, states, or counties that prohibit local funds or resources from being used to support federal immigration enforcement efforts. Again, a slap in the face. How many of the same people, they're funding border break illegal immigrant resources, helping them out legally, helping them out food assistance, helping them out housing assistance, helping them out school assistance. You get the point. But you start talking about reparations for Black Americans. Well, I mean, they keep insulting millions of Black Americans. Like, wake the hell up. What these people are doing. Golly. Limits on ICE detainers. Cities, states, or counties that refuse to honor ICE detainer requests unless there is a warrant signed by a judge. Let that same thing happen in another country and see if they're going to sit there and, well, hold on for a second. Oh, that's a Black American detainment. First of all, the majority of Black Americans that go to other places ain't getting in trouble and surely not breaking immigration laws. Federal benefit programs, a big time important part here. Cities, states, or counties that circumvent federal laws prohibiting the provision of federal benefits to illegal aliens and numbers of immigration personnel and provide them with access to freebies benefits, include health care assistance. Can Black Americans go get free health care assistance in other countries? I don't think so. Legal aid. Can Black Americans go get free legal aid in other countries? I don't think so. Food and housing assistance, you get the point. And other subsidies, freebies. This includes cities, states, or counties that establish standalone benefit programs or equivalents. See, these gains, right? Well, they can't get certain types federally. Well, the hell they can't. There are loopholes for certain things. And what about under what they said, standalone benefit programs under cities, states, and counties? Right? Those are exemptions in that. I mean, they just be slapping the hell out of faces of American Blacks by the millions who think it's all about individual only and going to get demographically slaughtered. in the next generation or two. This is why I consistently have to say, and I stand by what I say, today is November 3rd, 2025, because of the hard-headedness of certain type of means within American Blackism, besides certain small exemptions, because of that hard-headedness and naivete and acting like it's not going to affect collective Black Americans, modern day especially. Black Americans modern day only have half a generation to 1 generation left before the overall complete destruction of the American Black culture. And the only people that's going to be around are the small percentage of cultural Black American survivors. It is going to happen. There is more foreign-born personnel in America than American Blacks. Let me repeat this. There is more, basically, plus or minus, more foreign-born personnel in America than Black Americans. Those are demographical consequences. And then you start talking about the border breaking legal immigration personnel, and you mix that in with immigrationists, and you mix that in with many types of visa overstayers. Oh my goodness, there is definitely about to be even more a demographic onslaught toward Black Americans that don't even realize collectively what is heading toward Black Americans' destruction. Let's look at some of the states. California, which is the overallness headquarters of 1.0 of border breaking legal immigration personnel setting up headquarters in California. It's been going on for generations. Because since the border is right there. And how many Black Americans in California that know that make up a small percentage points are being shown hatred by certain sections of border breaking illegal immigrants and various other groups. So people don't talk about that part. Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, District of Columbia, Illinois, Minnesota, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington. Now look at this. California, small percentage of Black folks, Black Americans. Colorado, same thing. Connecticut, primarily non-Black Americans. Delaware, primarily non-Black Americans. District of Columbia has a percentage of Black Americans, but their percentages is dwindling because of gentrification and other types of agendas. Illinois, that whole situation itself, because they love sitting there talking about Illinois, right? And like Michigan, especially Detroit, or like Illinois, like Chicago, right? Oh my goodness, Black people, they're unaliving each other left and right. And what about the majority of people in Detroit, in Chicago, that ain't doing that? But they don't want to talk about that, right? What about white on white criminality? What about brown on brown criminality? What about yellow on yellow criminality? See, they don't talk about that. And they know it's not enough Black Americans, right? With very few exceptions, that sit there and roast people for minimizing many other people's criminality, but trying to blur out a few amount of Black Americans that do some things. What the game of that? Minnesota, surely not a lot of Black Americans there. New York, not even a lot of Black Americans there. And the crazy part about it, there are however numbers of Black adjacent. There are ones that cosplay Black Americans. Oh, there are ones in New York, Black Americans that know what's going on up there. Of numbers of cosplaying Black adjacent ones, especially the ones that fled. Oregon, I mean, that is beyond, what is it? A minute amount of Black Americans in Oregon, but they still are a sanctuary city, protecting border breakers, protecting immigrationist personnel, protecting visa overstayers. I mean, the nerve of that is in itself. Rhode Island, same thing. The majority of Rhode Island is not going to be Black Americans. Vermont, the majority of Vermont's not going to be Black Americans, but they're still protecting border breakers, still protecting immigrationists, protecting visa overstayers. I mean, the slap in the faces. The state of Washington, you're not going to have a gigantic amount of Black Americans there. I mean, the insultingness of this stuff. The counties, Cook County, Illinois, San Diego County, California, San Francisco County, California, cities, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sorry. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Berkeley, California. Boston. I mean, the nerve of how many Black Americans have been racially anti-Black terrorized in various parts of Boston. Oh, there are Black Americans who know what's going on. Chicago, Illinois. We talked about that earlier before. Denver, Colorado. East Lansing, Michigan. Hoken Bend, New Jersey. Jersey City, New Jersey. LA County. Los Angeles County. New Orleans. I mean, you're talking about a super slap in the face. New Orleans? And you got hired people protecting border break illegal immigrants down there? And not sitting there helping Black Americans who should be helped the most down there? New York City. Talked about that before. New York. Newark, New Jersey. Patterson, New Jersey. Philly. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Portland, Oregon. Rochester, New York. Seattle, Washington. San Francisco City, California. Right? You see the updated list, what? October 31st, 2025. Updated list, October 31st, 2025. Today is November the 3rd, 2025. Again, the insultingness of basically what they're doing, again, by the millions, is slapping the heck out of numbers of Black Americans faced by the millions, with very few exceptions. Because you have numbers of people within various parts of America, the ones applies to, especially pro-border breaking illegal immigrant organizations, various types of other type of immigration entities who know they are, because they want to have their own people, they have their own agendas, and they want more of their people in this country. This is why this is the whole old game of chain migration, right? You have immigration personnel come over here, fleeing from countries that look like them overall, right? See how that goes. And this includes certain sections of Africa. I'm not talking about some of the good brothers and sisters, because within the system in America, they ain't gonna allow more numbers of good brothers and sisters from Africa. They're not gonna allow more good brothers and sisters from the beautiful Caribbean. No, they only allow these sellouts and coons and anti-American Black ones, right? You like, and they have a skin of Black and have the hatred toward American Blacks. The nerve, because American Blacks ain't fleers. So you got these people that fled these beautiful places, beautiful Caribbean islands, the ancient continent of Africa, Kabbalah, etc., right? Escaping for people that look like them. The nerve. Which, okay, a few come to America doing anything, whatever on that, right? Fine. But no. But an overall amount come over and flee and show their hatred for Black Americans, but they also getting higher freebies and resources, and also benefiting, just like border break illegal immigrants, they're benefiting off of Black Americans' black pain. And they popping out these kids like top shakes, right? Bam, automatic citizenship. But Black Americans can't go to other countries like that and bam, automatic citizenship left and right. The game is the game, man, right? But you had the same people doing like this.
Oh, brings it here into the barrel. Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
What are they doing?
Oh, brings it here into the barrel. Oh, I see nothing. I was not here. I did not even get up this morning.
Yep. The game is the game. And again, in closing, this is why I say, because of the hard-headedness of within certain millions within American Blackism, modern day, with very few exceptions, for allowing people to play people of color games, marginalized communities, BPOC, which is Black, Indigenous people of color, communities of color game, right? Allowing people to play these little tactics without sitting there first vexing people to sit there and say, wait a minute, no, just because your skin is also Black skin don't mean you are cousins. No. Right? You have to earn the right for brothership and sistership with American Blacks. But unfortunately, millions of American Blacks did not do this over the last couple of generations. And even today, modern day, right now, 2025, about to go in 2026. It's only a slight few amount of Black Americans who are like, oh, no, 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 hold on for a second, right? No, just because your skin is black don't mean you are kinfolk. No, right? But that's a slight bit. That's a slight bit, and it's not enough. Last from the great Dr. Claude Anderson.
Watch the benefits they get. They go past black folk at 200 miles an hour. Pass them. Watch the benefits they get. They go past black folk at 200 miles an hour. Pass them. That's why in all these cities, in Chocolate City, they do better right here in Chocolate City. Now they're underneath the immigrants. Immigrants, they come in the country, they get a point over black folk for being an immigrant. Blacks are the only none of two. They classified, all of them are classified as whites. The Arabs, Asians, Hispanics, they all been reclassified as whites. Even American Indians back in the 1890s became classified as whites. They get a point. That's the second point. They get over black folk in getting access to resources and benefits. The third thing they get the benefits for being put into a minority category. They're classified as minorities over black folk. Thirdly, they come in with a culture, and they can establish a culture, and they can now build businesses and industries and relate back to their homeland. And lastly, what they can do, they also bring in a religious aspect and business opportunities for their people. Black folk get nothing.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real CP show.
Oh, I see nothing. I was not